Going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and I am officially done mining Kaspa. I've been talking about this for a while now, and I finally did it. I actually recorded this a little while ago, and then I accidentally deleted it when I had all the numbers and the miner was still running, and I went through everything. So that kind of sucks. So I'm gonna have to actually go based on memory here, but for the most part, yields have been picking up mostly because the network hash rate has been dropping. People are quitting mining Kaspa. The monthly block rewards are dropping, but the yields were actually picking up. Not because people were using the network, but because hash rate was dropping. So we're around 65 coins a day. But overall, the bottom line is, this is obviously wrong here because it's been off for a while. But I was only doing about $120 to $140 a month with the KS5L at metered mining, which definitely helped me keep this thing running longer than I would have been able to at home because of the lot cheaper power there. But I had to shut this thing off. And if you're looking for this miner, shoot me a DM. Maybe we can work something out. It is still at hosting. So, if you want a KS5L, let me know, and maybe I'll get rid of this for somebody here, and someone wants to buy it. But I doubt it because it sucks. But for the most part, it was costing me about $190 a month to run there, and I was only making $140, which means I was losing Kaspa every single month, even with pretty darn cheap power. If you want to get any or ASICs or anything hosted, even GPU hosting, they do like here we can see it is 8 cents per kilowatt hour, so I'm at like 12 cents per kilowatt hour, so it is quite a bit cheaper for me. They do GPU hosting at 9 cents per kilowatt hour as well. So yeah, I will have this link down in the description if you're trying to get cheaper power costs, because when it comes to crypto mining, the cheaper the power, the better, and that's ultimately what leads to any type of profit. But when it comes to the KS5L, sadly, even this cheap power isn't enough. So just coming into the Kaspa Explorer, we can see the current network hash rate is about 690 petahash. Max hash rate was about 1.59 exahash here, and we can kind of see the same numbers here. We're slightly 687 over on two miners here, but if we look at the all-time, we can see that half the hash rate has come off of Kaspa. People are giving up on mining Kaspa because it's just not profitable. Plus, we got Marathon Mining there pretty much selling all their Kaspa to buy Bitcoin. So that's huge sell pressure on Kaspa as well. So anyway, this is pretty freaking crazy here. And, this is becoming a more and more centralized chain, not a decentralized chain. A lot of people want to argue that, but seriously, think about it. You have a major player like Marathon Mining here, who has, probably has most of the hash rate here. And then we got new, more efficient miners that came into play, and people are quitting. So we got way better miners with a lot higher hash rate than when we were sitting in this area, and our hash rate is cut in half, which means we have a lot less miners that are hashing a lot more. So we have less decentralization and a lot more centralization happening on Kaspa. And for everybody out there, that's not a good thing. Take a look at the block reward. We were down to only 4.37 Kaspa. It looks like the reduction just went through. Next one will happen October 4th by the looks of the blockchain here on the Explorer. So yeah, but anyway, our block reward is only 4.37. Remember, that is per second. We're at 10 blocks per second right now. So you just divide that by 10. So we're at like 0.437 Kaspa per block and everything. But anyway, point here is 4.37 Kaspa. And I think one thing obviously that's hurting obviously miners and security and things like that is obviously the halving schedule. This halves every single year by doing so in monthly increments. We all know this about Kaspa at this point, 4 times faster than Bitcoin. Now, a lot of coins think halving is good, deflationary, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. But all this is doing for most of the coins these days is losing more and more security, which means as time goes on, and if there's no price action, which we don't see any price action happening on the majority of these coins, it's going to become easier and easier to attack. They are losing security. That's the bottom line, as these halving events are causing loss of security. If you don't believe me, Kaspa is officially 50% less secure than it was back in January 22nd, so of 2025. So at the start of this year to now, Kaspa's lost 50% of its security. Argue it all you want. The numbers don't lie. Our hash rate is gone by half. Dogecoin, for an example, it used to have, yes, but it does not have anymore. It's been staying the same for a very long time now. And every altcoin season, it still continues to do what it usually does. It sees nice pumps. It's a strong, healthy coin without any more halvings happening on it. So, I really don't see the point. I think halvings are just because everybody forks Bitcoin, a halving is now pretty much into them, and people just think that's the way things should be. It doesn't need to be there, but it just seems like it's a thing. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but halvings hurt coins. Everything is losing its security due to the lower prices, a little less block rewards, and people just don't want to mine them because nothing is profitable. And a little background story, just shooting back to the KS5L, we can see how much this miner has made total based on the current price and stuff, and it's just shy of $2,000. When I first got this miner, it was about $4,300, and then before it even got to my house, the price dropped by 50% to like $2,000. So if I would have got it for that, I would almost be ROI'd, but now I'm not even 50% ROI'd, and this thing is losing money every single day. I am better off just buying $180 worth of Kaspa every single month, and hopefully it pumps sometime in the future to pay off this miner, than it is to mine Kaspa with this miner and losing Kaspa every single month. So that's pretty much what the bottom line is when it comes to this miner. Looking at profitability of, I guess, majority of all these Kaspa ASICs, you need obviously the biggest bad boy right now, the KS7 here, and it's only making $12 a day. And I don't even know what they're priced at, but they're expensive for what they're getting. Here it's saying $5,600. This thing should be worth $800, at $13 a day. Like, they're way overpriced for what they're getting. Anyway, guys, Kaspa mining is dying. Obviously, if the price pumps to something stupid like $1, then obviously everyone will be turning on their miners and stuff again. But is that going to happen? It's a really tough call. And there's only a month or two left of the current bull season, altcoin season, any season. So crypto needs to do something, and do something fast, because we're almost in full-fledged bear market times again. And things are going to get very, very rough all over again. And it's already been rough through this bull season. So pretty insane, guys. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on Kaspa. And again, the KS5L. If anybody wants this thing, it's still at hosting. Let me know and we can figure something out here. Or maybe you have solar or free power at home, we can get it shipped to you. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I am officially done with Kaspa for now. I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.